I'm going to share with you today the career unit that I developed. Some of you have seen this already. It is in your Dropbox. And while that's opening up, so the Career 1 unit, what I did, I call it Unit 1 because most career courses, it is that Unit 1. In this particular course, it happens to be Unit 2. There's a couple that happens. This specifically looks at the Strand 1, the employability standards that we have to meet. And so I'm just trying to give you an idea here how we can work with the CTSO integration and the Ohio standards. Because ultimately what happens is you are teaching Ohio students in your classroom, and you're teaching Ohio business and marketing and finance students in your classroom. You're not teaching BPA or DECA, as Jerry pointed out, okay? So what we did is we took a BPA competition, and I'm not going to mess with this to try to make it larger. It's in your Dropbox under Unit 1. This is an example unit that you can take and use in your classroom and modify as you will. But I wanted to show you how the CTSO, how it can be integrated into your classroom. Now everybody develops units a little bit different. One of the ways I develop units is with an essential question, which is the why. Why am I doing this, Ms. Burris? Why are you making me do this today? Because I don't want to do anything. So this is why, right? No, none of you have that, I know. So the essential question here is, what impact does knowing how to research and prepare for careers have on my future goals? So in order to answer that question, or have the students answer that question, we have the essential question, and I'm going to use the BPA project interview skills. For those of you who are not BPA instructors with DECA, Dee is going to show you a really cool resource with Ohio Means Jobs, where you can get access to some of these applications and things that you can use. So what I did is, in that BPA competition, there are several competencies that BPA says, in order for your student to do well and to place and to move on to state and national competition, you need to do these certain items well. Those things are the things that are in bold, okay? The things underneath the bold, with all the little numbers in the front, are the Ohio standards. So what I did is I took the BPA standard, and then I popped out underneath and put all the Ohio standards. Take a look at, just by using this project in your classroom, how many Ohio standards that you will reach. Okay? You have it in your Dropbox. I'm not going to read them. But that's a ton of standards. So there's absolutely no reason why you could not have all of your students complete an employability section with using the interview skills. You're going to hit the majority of the standards that you need to hit in that unit. At the bottom, I have a couple of resources, which Dee will talk about in full later, in just a few moments. But I want to talk about the pacing, and then we can get moving with our day. So the pacing, I think, is important. I have a couple teacher things that just teacher to teacher, what I like to do, and some suggestions. And you can take them, leave them, it's up to you. As I'm pacing it, I left my essential question up there so that I was focused. What is it I'm trying to accomplish by the end of this unit? As I went through this unit, I kind of planned it out. I'm going to start out with Ohio Means Jobs. Has anyone used Ohio Means Jobs in their classroom? Have you used it with your students? Okay, a couple of you. So I would have my students go through that. They have a career interest survey on there. Okay, so that's where we would get started. And we would talk by Tuesday, we'd finish up our search and start on completing an application. Every kid needs to know how to fill out an application, because they're going to work at McDonald's or Burger King or, and where I'm from, Cedar Point, you know, a billion of those applications are filled out. So they need to know how to fill them out correctly. So they go ahead into the completing of the resume, and we start talking, or application. Then we start talking about the resume, and the application is due. Now I want you to notice the due dates at the bottom. The application was due on Wednesday. I'm going to go through that, I'm going to mark it up, and I'm going to give it back to them. and give them a chance to hand it back to me. And this is my little teacher to teacher moment here. Because somewhere along the line somebody told me this, and I found it very effective, was when you let them see what they messed up and fixed it, they do so much better when it comes to the real thing or the next time that they fill it out, okay? So give them that opportunity to correct what they've done. The resume here is due by Thursday, and then we're looking at career pathways. Dee will show you that document, so I don't want to talk about it too much, but how I looked at it, she'll show you how you can customize it. That would be my assignment. They would each be responsible for creating their own career pathway. And I think it's pretty cool in that you don't have to stick with ODE, and this is just the only one we have in accounting, this is your only path. You can actually choose the colleges that you're looking at and the different courses you're going to take at the high school level. Back down to Monday, we're going to finish those career pathways. The resumes are done, the applications are done, we've all corrected, turned back, been returned back in. We start preparing for interviews on Tuesday and Wednesday. For those interviews, you're going to contact your advisory committee members and try to get them in to interview your students. You're going to contact assistant principals, or you're going to contact guidance counselors. You're going to try to get somebody besides yourself, because as soon as a real person is sitting right there in front of you, the kid's going to take it a whole lot more serious than if it's just you and the student, okay? A suggestion, and I think it came from this region, it might be tomorrow's region, but it was somewhere up in Northwest Ohio, or Northeast Ohio, was if you can't get somebody in there, videotape them. Because as soon as you put a kid in front of a video camera, how serious are they now? Wait, start it over. No, can you start that over? No, my hair was wrong. I messed my name up. Can we do this again? All of a sudden, they are very, very conscious of what it is that they're doing through that process, and it gives you something that you can critique. The two of you can go back over and you can critique it and figure out where they could improve, okay? Finally, on the last day, my assessment piece, my post-assessment piece, is a reflection journal. And the reflection journal is the essential question. What impact does knowing how to research my future career, how is that going to impact my future goals? Okay? I know I said it kind of wrong. So hopefully they're thinking about that and seeing how this is really going to affect them, and that the stuff that they learned is really cool. I get really excited about Ohio Means Jobs, so I'm going to turn it over to Dee to talk about. But one little plug before I give it to Dee. It's so awesome because it's real. It is absolutely used, and when the students start seeing that these are real jobs in their community, they all of a sudden are like, oh, wait. I had students that had already had accounts and didn't realize all the other tools they had because they applied for summer work through our city system. So keep that in mind, that this is real. When they get that, that's not just a pretend place that they're looking at things. This is real life and out in the real world. So, all right, thank you very much. I'm going to turn it over to Dee.